Yeah. Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship, New Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we're going to answer what, for some reason, is a very common question on the channel right now. Do I, or anyone else, live on board the ship? No. End of video. So, does anybody live on the ship anymore? Why don't they? Is it even appropriate? So, obviously, when the ship was in service, people lived on board. The ship is no longer in service, it's no longer run by the Navy. Does the museum keep a presence on board 24 hours a day? Yeah, absolutely. When we're not open, there is a security guard on board to make sure nobody comes on board, damages anything. But all the reasons you have security. Why don't people live on board? I think it's completely inappropriate for people to live on board museum ships. I don't think people should live in a historic home museum. I don't think people should live in the science center or the aquarium or the zoo or in any other museum or archival type space. It's ridiculous and inappropriate. One of my previous museum ships did have people living on board, and they were living on a vessel that was 80 some odd years old. Things broke. There was a single maintenance person on that vessel, that was me, and I could not keep up with the things they were breaking, much less do any actual restoration work on the vessel. And maybe that's me not being good enough to do it. I was one of a series of maintenance people on that vessel, and some of them were able to keep up with it. But I was overwhelmed with the work of being a landlord and couldn't actually be much of a museum employee. These ships are historic landmarks. They're battlefields. They're historic houses. You shouldn't have people living in them, degrading the space as they use stuff. And I'm not even saying that these people were maliciously breaking things. It's just they were using the space and things were breaking. At least once a weekend over the winters, I was called in because they'd blown a fuse trying to plug in multiple radiators in their staterooms. Heating and air conditioning on these ships was not great when people were drafted to serve on board them, and it is not great when they're given away as free housing. Do I want to live on the ship? Hey, yeah, it sure would be cool to have a 90-story office building to live in. That's a lot more area than the place where I stay in now. There's a couple of reasons I wouldn't do it, though. I already spend way more than 40 hours a week at work. I would never be off work if I lived on board. That is true for the crew of an active duty ship, and they can handle it. I would not thrive in that environment. Have I ever slept on board the ship? Yeah, I've slept on board at least 4 museum ships. I've spent up to a week or more on board. It's not great, it's not comfortable, not much hot water, but it was for work. I was being paid. It's worth doing. I love our overnight program. I don't see anything wrong with bringing people on board for a night or a weekend and giving them an experience. What was it like to stay on board? And then they find out that, hey, the sailors don't have much hot water to shower in. The food is what it is. The beds aren't great. The blowers going off all night makes it really loud. Some people like white noise. I don't particularly. I think it's a really great experience to give people the chance to stay on board, and I love that many museum ships, including New Jersey, offer an overnight experience, and I participate in that often. There is a link in the description for ways to book our overnight program. We aren't currently doing them. This is August of 2021 that we're filming this, so the pandemic is still going on if you're watching this in the distant future and this is all behind us. but we are booking encampments for potentially later in the year if things go well, and certainly for next year. So I am currently laying down in the Admiral's bed in the Admiral's cabin, and we selected this spot because it's been forever since we've done any video in here. Myself and anyone else with the encampment program will not be sleeping in this exhibit space. If you come on board, it's something like an 18-hour long program. We feed you dinner and breakfast from the ship's chow line. You get to sleep on board in some of the berthing compartments under crew's mess back aft where the enlisted sailors slept. And there's a great tour of the ship where you see things that you don't get to see on a regular daytime tour. And we do some educational activities and other things as well. I highly recommend it. We tend to book specifically groups, scout groups, school groups, that sort of thing, but individual family groups that want to book on nights when we already have a set group of people here can usually sign up and join us there. As of filming of this, we do not have any nights set up in the near future for just adults without any children, but that's something that's requested often, and in the past we've set up nights for that. So if you are interested in such a thing, let us know in the comment section down below. If you are interested in a more personal overnight experience with a tour hosted by me, there's an email address in the description below. Let us know. We're offering this experience for $2,500. A normal curator's tour with me costs $1,000, and you can sign up for that. That is a 3-hour long tour. If you're interested in a curator's overnight experience, dinner and breakfast will be provided, and it will involve tours of behind-the-scenes spaces that regular daytime guests can't attend. Be sure to shoot us an email if you're interested. Would you live on a museum ship if given the opportunity? Let us know in the comment section down below. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State and also from a number of individuals and businesses. Private behind-the-scenes tours go a long way towards supporting the ship, and so do donations. There's a link in the description if you'd like to support us that way. You can also support the museum by liking, sharing, and subscribing so that other people find out about the channel. Thanks for watching.